Welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and talk about the iPhone XS Max and see how this phone holds up in 2021 in the middle of this year. Now I've already done a lot of reviews on this thing, a lot of comparisons this year, and I did a massive review early this year talking about this phone, but some things have changed with it. We've gotten a massive new software version, and although the body and everything is still the same, this is a massive enough improvement in my opinion to talk about. Now here's the thing, body wise this phone still looks very good. You have that beautiful display on the front, which I've always been a fan of. It is probably still one of the best panels out there. I think it's better than the 12 Pro Max, although I think the 11 Pro Max probably is the best iPhone screen. You have the notch up top, which is still the same on all the iPhones, lightning port at the bottom, metal frame around it, which looks very good, glass on the back, which still feels extremely good. And this is the thing, this is still a very premium feeling iPhone. It's definitely not perfect, but it feels very, very good in the hand. Now you do have that camera setup, the dual camera setup on the back, 12 megapixel wide and then 12 megapixel telephoto lens. And I'm a fan of this camera still. I think it's a pretty good camera, although it's not perfect. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max definitely has a much better and bigger sensor. I think the XS Max for that time is still a pretty good camera, and I'm a fan of it. I really don't dislike this camera. I think the front camera is a little bit disappointing, 1080p at 60. I wish it did have 4K at 60. I think that would be really, really cool. We didn't get that until the next iPhone after. But again, you do have 4K 60 on the back, which I think, makes up for it for the most part. So in terms of the camera, that pretty much covers it up there. Now let's go ahead and hit on the software, which is the most important thing here. So first of all, the installation process with iOS 15 has been perfect. I have not ran into any problems on any of the phones, which is very, very good to see. On top of that, the phone has been performing pretty well. It's been pretty stable. With that being said, I would not recommend installing this version of software. You are just asking for trouble if you do it. It's just, not a good look in my opinion to install this, but it's still not that bad of a version of software. I think it actually gets the job done for the most part. Now on top of this, I think the features that iOS 15 brought are okay at best. It didn't bring anything super crazy where I'm like, wow, you have to install this software, like it's groundbreaking. I do not get that vibe at all. But I think for the most part, for those of you who just want to, have a phone and then just, get a stable version of software on it, I think iOS 15 is going to be one of the more stable versions of software out there, I think it's going to be, when it's officially released like iOS 15.2, I think it's going to be more stable than iOS 14.2. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. Performance has been a little bit slower pretty much on all my phones, and the battery life has gone down quite a bit on all my devices as well. But with that being said, these things are bound to happen. When you have a version of software like this that just comes out, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to have a lot of issues and everything. So that is another massive thing to keep in mind. But with that being said, I think iOS 15 on iPhone XS Max has been pretty good. And I think this phone is at a really good spot that when, iOS 15 comes out officially, it's going to be a pretty decent version of software, and I'm looking very forward to it. So I think the iPhone XS Max is still worth it in the middle of 2021. I think it's still a very good phone. Obviously it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for a lot of people out there. So that essentially covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.